I guarantee that the answer is going to disappoint you. But I want to preface this with in no way am I ever defending Disney for their practices. I was a huge Disney fan, and for the moment, I have been on a Disney boycott, waiting for them to earn back my trust. Since no one at Disney knows I exist, there's not a real effort made on that part. So while I haven't seen the movie Wish, there's been nothing else on my YouTube For You page except commentators talking about the movie and the idea circulating that it was written by AI. The top reasons for why people suppose that the movie Wish was written by an AI and not by actual people are that the first half of the film and the second half of the film don't match. It's like they're from two separate movies. Another complaint is that the messaging does not match what the characters' motivations are. And a third reason is that the songs are kind of just there. They don't really tie anything into the film. However, this isn't the first time that we've heard these very same complaints about Disney films. We've just never heard them all together about one Disney film. Starting with the first half of the movie and the second half of the movie feel like they're two separate stories. One of the first films to come to mind was the movie Brave, that the first half of the film was centered around the conflict between a mother and a daughter and their deteriorating relationship. The second half of the film was bears? I honestly don't remember most of that second half of the film except that they go get fish and then the mama bear pushes the bigger demon bear thing against the pillar and the pillar falls and crushes him. That's all I remember of the second half of the film. And there's actually a reason why the movie Brave feels so disjointed, like it is two separate movies stapled together. And it's that the creative director for Brave was actually replaced mid production of the film. So they had an entire creative director who redid a lot of the storyboard, but for some reason kept that first half. Like the first half was actually really good, but changing the creative lead midway through production made the film disjointed. It absolutely made it feel like it's two different films stapled together. From what I can tell, that was not the case with Wish. From what I could tell, this was not the same case with Wish, in which the creative directors were the same start to finish. Vera Sunthorn, working on it, has been at Disney for quite a while and has worked on some very successful films, including Zootopia, Frozen, and Moana. She started off, from what I can tell from the wiki, that she was a storyboard artist, went to head the storyboard department, and this is her first time as a director of a featured film. So it should be successful. But speaking of Frozen and songs just kind of being there, the entire character of Elsa was supposed to be a villain in the original storyboard idea. With the song Let It Go, they scrapped this idea and turned her into Anna's sister instead. So an entire rewrite of the story happened, which is why the songs that they kind of were just married to exist, but they really don't do a lot to tie in most of the story. Like, we can agree that half the songs kind of don't need to be in there. But despite my saltiness towards Frozen as a franchise, I'm willing to let it go. It was still wildly successful. The point is that songs from Wish that were created prior to any sort of production of the film itself stayed, and that's not necessarily an indicator of it being written by AI or that it should be a bad movie, because Frozen was very successful with the same concept that songs were written beforehand. They were very married to these songs and started making the film around a particular song. Which leaves the last part about character motivations not matching up with the messaging of the film itself. We've seen this before with another Vera Sunthorn movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, where the messaging of trust does not line with the characters actually being able to trust. Disney started working with the idea of the film Wish in 2018, though no official statement was made until about 2022. In between these dates, there was a particular kind of crisis going on at a global level. Whether or not a global crisis affected production of the movie as a whole, we don't know. So, was it a global crisis? Was it pure incompetence? Was it a lack of motivation? Or was it that Disney fed its scripts from the past to an AI, gave it a prompt, and directed the AI to write it in this style? The answer is probably not. Maybe, but probably not. And I promise this isn't here for a clickbait. It's that I noticed there was patterns in the past and I just wanted to kind of compare them and try and see if I can come up with something, which is lacking, I understand. But it's the point is that Disney has made these same mistakes in the past. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was written by an AI. And again, I'm not a Disney defender and I'm still on a Disney boycott. I refuse to watch anything until I kind of get a sense that they're putting time and effort and quality back into the things that they make. Or at the very least, that they're putting love into something that they make.